A casino worker just shared something that could save you a lot of money. Former employees revealed 9 worst slot machines that take your money faster than any other machines in the casino. What they're saying is shocking. They've seen many players lose their homes, retirement money, and savings to machines that use hidden tricks most people never notice. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which machines to avoid and why casinos don't want you to find out. Machine number 5 has already hurt more people than you would think. Machine number 1. Wheel of Fortune quarter slots. Let's start with the first machine you need to avoid. It's called Wheel of Fortune quarter slots. A player named Frank learned this lesson the hard way. He never had access to the insider information you're about to hear. Frank was a regular customer at the Bellagio Casino in Las Vegas. He was a nice guy, a retired teacher who loved to gamble on weekends. Every Friday night, Frank had a special routine. He would sit down at the same Wheel of Fortune quarter slot machine near the poker room. Frank did this for 2 whole years. During that time, he put about $40,000 into that machine. According to his own records, he won back about $28,000. That means he lost $12,000 chasing his dream of hitting it big. Slot technicians who have worked on these machines say Wheel of Fortune slots are some of the most popular machines in any casino, but they're also some of the worst paying machines on the floor. The quarter version typically has an RTP between 86 and 88%. RTP means return to player, so for every $100 you put in, you only get back about $86 to $88. That's terrible odds. Former IGT employees revealed why these machines have such low returns. The manufacturer has to pay licensing fees to use the Wheel of Fortune brand name. They offset that cost by reducing how much money players win back. Basically, you're paying for the fancy brand name with worse odds. But here's what makes it even worse. The Wheel of Fortune bonus round is the part everyone gets excited about. It's programmed to hit about once every 300 spins on average. When it does hit, the average payout is only about 20 to 30 times your bet. So if you're betting 75 cents per spin, you might win $15 to $20 after spending over $200 trying to get there. Former casino employees have watched this pattern over and over. One report documented a woman who hit the wheel bonus 3 times in one session. She walked away thinking she had a great night, but based on her bet size and time played, she probably lost about $300 despite those 3 bonus rounds. The excitement of spinning that wheel made her forget about all the losing spins in between. Industry insiders have nicknamed Wheel of Fortune machines the retirement fund killer. They've seen so many older players on fixed incomes dump their money into these machines month after month. These players are attracted by the familiar TV show theme. They don't understand the terrible math working against them. Now you might be wondering if there's an even worse version of this machine. Well, stick around because machine number 2 is going to shock you when you see what former technicians have revealed about its programming. That version takes everything bad about this machine and makes it 10 times worse. Machine number 2, Buffalo Gold. This machine is particularly concerning because Buffalo Gold is absolutely everywhere. Walk into any casino and you'll see rows of these machines with people sitting at them for hours. The game is made by Aristocrat. On the surface, it looks like a generous machine with frequent bonus rounds and big potential wins. But insider reports tell a completely different story. Former casino management has explained that Buffalo Gold has something called high volatility. This means it can pay out big wins, but those wins are extremely rare according to the programming specs. The base game RTP sits around 88 to 90% depending on the denomination. That's not great to begin with. But what makes this machine particularly dangerous is how the free spins bonus is programmed. Reports from slot technicians show that the Buffalo Gold free spins bonus triggers approximately once every 150 spins. While that might sound reasonable, here's the problem. The vast majority of those bonus rounds pay out less than 50 times your bet. So if you're betting $1 per spin, you're spending about $150 to trigger a bonus that might only pay you $30 or $40. The math simply doesn't work in your favor. But here's where it gets really sneaky. According to insider analysis, every now and then, maybe 1 in every 50 bonus rounds, the machine will hit what industry insiders call a super bonus. This is where you get a ton of Buffalo symbols and multiply your bet by 300 or 500 times. Former employees have noted that when someone near you hits one of these super bonuses, everyone watching immediately wants to play Buffalo Gold. They see that one big win and think it could be them. But they don't see the 49 other bonus rounds that barely paid anything. Documentation from former workers includes a case of a player who sat at Buffalo Gold for 8 hours straight, trying to hit one of those super bonuses. He kept telling himself just one more bonus round, By the time he finally gave up, he had lost $4,000. The machine had triggered the bonus about 12 times during his session according to observations, but not a single one of them was a super bonus. He walked away, broke and frustrated. Industry reports suggest the worst part about Buffalo Gold is that it's positioned as a player favorite in most casinos. You'll see signs promoting it, you'll hear people talking about their big wins on it, but what you don't hear about are the thousands of players who lose consistently on this machine. They're chasing that one rare super bonus that might never come during their playing session. Speaking of machines that trick you with rare big wins, number 3 on this list has an even more sinister twist. According to insider testimonies, that one cost a player his house. We'll get to that shocking story in just a moment. Machine number 3, Lightning Link, Happy Lantern. Lightning Link is another massively popular series of games made by Aristocrat. The Happy Lantern version is one of the worst in the series. According to Casino Insiders, this machine is particularly common in casinos with large Asian customer bases because of the Chinese lantern theme. Former slot technicians report that Happy Lantern has a base game RTP of about 87%, but what makes this machine especially problematic is the hold and spin bonus feature. For those who don't know, Lightning Link games have a feature where if you land 6 or more special symbols, you trigger a hold and spin round. In this round, you're trying to fill the screen with symbols that have cash values on them. Here's what technical documentation reveals. The hold and spin feature is programmed to trigger frequently enough to keep you engaged. It hits roughly once every 80 to 100 spins according to the game's algorithm, but the actual payouts from these features are usually disappointing based on payout reports. Most of the time, you'll trigger the hold and spin, collect a few symbols, and win something like 8 to 15 times your bet. That sounds okay until you realize you just spent 80 to 100 spins betting to get there. The numbers simply don't add up in your favor. But the real problem with Happy Lantern specifically is something former technicians have identified as near-miss programming. Reports indicate this machine is designed to show you near misses more frequently than other Lightning Link games. You'll constantly see 5 special symbols land, just one short of triggering the bonus. Or you'll be in the hold and spin feature and watch as symbol after symbol just barely misses landing on the reels. These near misses are programmed into the game to make you feel like you're always close to winning big. This keeps you playing longer. According to psychological analysis from industry insiders, one documented case involves a woman who played Happy Lantern every single weekend for 6 months. She kept a detailed log of every session, tracking her wins and losses. After 6 months, she calculated that she had triggered the hold and spin bonus over 300 times. Out of those 300 bonuses, only 8 of them paid more than 100 times her bet. The rest were small wins that barely made a dent in her overall losses. By the end of 6 months, she was down about $12,000. The reason Casino Insiders specifically warn against Happy Lantern instead of other Lightning Link games is because reports suggest the near-miss programming is more aggressive on this version. Former technicians indicate it's designed to be extra addictive. You know what's interesting? The next machine on this list actually got pulled from several casinos because players complained it was too hard to win on, according to industry reports. But it's still out there, and we're going to reveal exactly which one it is right now. Machine number 4, Game of Thrones Slot Machine. This is one of those branded machines we mentioned earlier. It's a perfect example of why licensing fees destroy your chances of winning. According to insider analysis, the Game of Thrones slot is made by Aristocrat. Casino employees who have come forward say it has one of the worst RTP percentages of any branded machine on the floor. Former pit bosses report that the Game of Thrones machine has an RTP that ranges from 86 to 89% depending on the casino's settings. But here's what makes this machine particularly brutal according to programming documentation. There are actually 4 different game modes you can play. Each mode is based on a different house from the show: Baratheon, Lannister, Stark, and Targaryen. Each mode has slightly different features and volatility levels. Industry insiders have explained that most players don't realize that the Targaryen mode, which is the most popular because everyone loves the dragon theme, is also the highest volatility mode with the longest gaps between bonus triggers. Former employees have observed players sitting in Targaryen mode for hours, barely hitting any wins, because they want to play the coolest version of the game. Meanwhile, the machine is programmed to make you wait longer for features in that mode compared to the others based on the game's algorithm. But here's the really concerning part. According to insider reports, the Game of Thrones machine has multiple different bonus rounds. The Iron Throne feature, free spins with stacked wilds, and a gamble feature where you can risk your bonus win for a chance at something bigger. Former pit bosses have noted that the gamble feature is an absolute trap. Documentation shows countless players triggering a decent bonus, winning maybe $60 or $70, then gambling it trying to get a bigger prize, and losing everything. The odds of successfully gambling up are heavily stacked against you according to the programming, but the machine makes it look exciting and tempting. What really concerns casino insiders about the Game of Thrones machine is that HBO and Aristocrat make it look so epic and exciting with video clips from the show, and orchestral music and elaborate graphics. But underneath all that production value, technical reports reveal a machine with terrible odds. It's designed to keep you chasing dragons that statistical probability suggests you'll never catch. Former employees suggest if you're a Game of Thrones fan, just rewatch the series at home. Don't give your money to this machine. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about machine number 5. That one has a feature that's literally designed to make you think you're winning when you're actually losing. According to insider analysis, it's genius and evil at the same time. Machine number 5, 88 Fortunes. Here's a story about a player who lost his house. His name was Tony, and his poison of choice was 88 Fortunes. This machine is absolutely massive in casinos, especially ones that cater to Asian players because the number 8 is considered lucky in Chinese culture. But according to casino employees who have come forward, this machine is anything but lucky. Former slot technicians have revealed that 88 Fortunes has an interesting gimmick. You can choose how many gold symbols you want to play with by adjusting your bet. The more gold symbols you activate, the higher your bet, and supposedly the better your chances of winning big. The problem, according to insider analysis, is that most players max out the gold symbols thinking they're giving themselves the best odds. In reality, they're just betting more money on a machine with an RTP around 88%. But here's where Tony's story comes in. Based on documented reports from former employees, Tony was a regular who played 88 Fortunes at maximum bet almost every single day. He would bet $4.50 per spin, which doesn't sound like much, but he was spinning about 600 times per session. That's $2,700 in total bets per session. And he was doing this 4 or 5 days a week according to observations. The thing that kept Tony hooked, according to analysis, was the Fu-Bat jackpot feature. This is a picking game where you select gold coins and try to match symbols to win one of 4 progressive jackpots. The mini jackpot is usually around $10 to $15. The minor is around $100. The major is around $1,000. And the grand can be anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 depending on how long it's been since it hit. Former employees report that Tony hit the mini jackpot all the time, probably once every couple of sessions. He hit the minor jackpot maybe once a month, but he was chasing the grand jackpot. Industry estimates suggest that over the course of 2 years, Tony probably put close to $300,000 through that machine. And in that entire time, he never hit the grand jackpot according to casino records. Not once. He hit the major jackpot twice, winning about $1,000 each time. But compared to his overall losses, those wins were drops in the bucket. Eventually, Tony's wife discovered how much money he had been losing according to the documented case. He had been hiding it from her, taking out credit cards she didn't know about, even taking out a second mortgage on their house without telling her. When she discovered the truth, they had to sell the house to pay off the debt. According to the last reports, they were living in a small apartment and Tony was banned from the casino at his wife's insistence. Former employees note the cruel irony was that the grand jackpot on the 88 Fortunes machine Tony played finally hit about 3 months after he got banned. Someone else won $17,000. Now, machine number 6 is where things get truly disturbing. This one doesn't just take your money, it celebrates while doing it. Machine number 6, SX in the City. Remember how we said there's a machine with a feature designed to make you think you're winning when you're actually losing? This is it. According to industry insiders, SX in the City made by IGT is one of the most deceptive machines on the casino floor. Casino management has revealed that SX in the City has what they call losses disguised as wins. Here's how it works based on the programming. Let's say you bet $2.50 on a spin. The real spin and you land a winning combination that pays out $1.25. The machine celebrates, lights flash, music plays. You hear that satisfying sound of coins clinking. Your brain registers it as a win, but you didn't win according to basic math. You lost $1.25 on that spin. The machine paid you back less than you bet, but it celebrated anyway to make you feel good. Former employees describe this psychological trick as devastating because it masks your losses and makes you think you're doing better than you actually are. You'll play for an hour and think you're breaking even or maybe slightly down. In reality, you've lost a significant amount of money. Those small wins that are actually losses add up fast according to calculations. The SX in the City machine has an RTP around 88 to 90% depending on denomination according to insider data. That's already not great, but when you combine that with the losses disguised as wins, it becomes particularly dangerous according to analysis. Former workers report watching players burn through $500 on this machine in an hour and genuinely believe they were only down about $100. The machine kept celebrating all those small wins that were actually losses. There's also a Mr. Big bonus round that's supposed to be the big feature of the game. Former employees explain that this bonus triggers roughly once every 200 spins and involves picking shoes to reveal prizes. The problem based on payout data is that the bonus almost always pays less than 50 times your bet. The math is terrible according to analysis, but players keep chasing that bonus because the theme is fun and the game keeps making them feel like they're winning. It's not just that the odds are bad. The machine actively deceives you about how badly you're losing based on its programming. It's psychological manipulation at its finest, according to analysis. Speaking of psychological manipulation, machine number 7 uses a tactic so brutal that insiders call it the retirement account destroyer. Machine number 7, Wheel of Fortune, triple extreme spin. Remember earlier when we mentioned there's an even worse version of the regular Wheel of Fortune? This is it. According to insider reports, Wheel of Fortune Triple Extreme Spin is like the original Wheel of Fortune machine on steroids. And according to casino employees who have come forward, it's exponentially worse for your bankroll. Former slot technicians reveal that Triple Extreme Spin was introduced as a high-excitement version of the classic game with bigger potential wins and more elaborate bonus features. But what IGT didn't advertise according to insider analysis is that the base game RTP on this machine is around 85 to 87%. That's lower than the already bad original Wheel of Fortune based on programming specs. The gimmick with Triple Extreme Spin, according to technical documentation, is that there are 3 different wheel bonus rounds you can trigger: bronze, silver, and gold. The bronze wheel is the most common and usually pays between 10 and 50 times your bet. The silver wheel is rarer and pays between 50 and 200 times your bet. And the gold wheel is extremely rare and can pay up to 1,000 times your bet or more. Former technicians report that the problem is, the machine is programmed to trigger the bronze wheel about 70% of the time when you do hit a bonus. So you're sitting there spinning at an 85% RTP for hundreds of spins. You finally trigger the wheel bonus, and then you get the lowest tier wheel that barely pays anything. It's demoralizing according to observations, but players keep going because they want to hit that gold wheel. But here's the twist that makes this even worse according to insider analysis. When you do trigger a wheel bonus, the machine gives you the option to gamble your wheel tier for a chance at a higher one. Former employees report that in 5 years of maintaining this particular machine at one casino, the gold wheel triggered maybe 15 times. 15 times out of thousands and thousands of players who sat at that machine chasing it according to records. The problem based on probability analysis is the gamble almost always fails. The odds of successfully gambling up from bronze to silver are probably about 1 in 10 according to insider estimates. From silver to gold, even worse. So what happens is players trigger the bronze wheel, gamble for silver, lose the gamble, and end up with nothing. They just wasted 200 spins of grinding to trigger a bonus, and then they gambled it away for nothing. Now we're getting to the final 2 machines. These were saved for last because they're both relatively new, and they're spreading across casinos faster than any other games right now. Number 8 especially has a dark secret that casinos definitely don't want you to know about. Machine number 8, Dragon Link, Panda Magic. Dragon Link is Aristocrat's answer to Lightning Link, and it's become one of the most popular series of games in casinos worldwide. Panda Magic is one of the newest versions. It's specifically designed to target players who loved the original Dragon Link games but found them too difficult to win on, according to marketing analysis. Except here's the problem. Based on insider reports, Panda Magic is actually worse. Former casino executives have revealed that when Aristocrat released Panda Magic, they marketed it to casinos as a player-friendly version of Dragon Link with more frequent features and better hold and spin potential. Casinos loved this pitch because they thought it would attract more players. But what Aristocrat didn't emphasize in their marketing is that while features trigger more frequently, the payouts are significantly smaller and the base game RTP is lower. Industry insiders explain that Panda Magic has a base game RTP around 86% compared to the original Dragon Link games, which sit around 88 to 90% according to programming specs. That might not sound like a big difference, but over the course of a long session, that 2 to 4% gap is massive according to mathematical analysis. Here's the dark secret. Former executives have revealed after Panda Magic had been on casino floors for about 6 months, Aristocrat released internal data to casino operators showing the performance metrics of the game. The machine was retaining players for longer than almost any other Dragon Link game. And the hold percentage, meaning how much money the casino was keeping, was higher than other versions. In other words, Panda Magic was exceptionally good at making casinos money because it kept players engaged while paying out less according to the internal reports. Former executives state the reason they specifically warn against Panda Magic is because it represents a new trend in slot machine design. Manufacturers are getting better at creating games that feel rewarding and entertaining while actually extracting more money from players according to industry analysis. Panda Magic is one of the first games to really perfect this balance. The psychological trick that makes Panda Magic so effective, according to behavioral analysis, is something called frequent small wins. The machine gives you just enough small wins and just enough feature triggers to keep you feeling engaged and hopeful, but you never quite get enough to actually get ahead or even break even based on the math. And now for the final machine on this list. This one is so bad that several former casino employees stated they actually tried to convince their managers to remove it from the floor because they felt guilty watching people lose on it. But casinos won't remove it because it makes too much money according to industry reports. Machine number 9, Ultimate Firelink, Tiki Fire. Ultimate Firelink is another IGT product, and Tiki Fire is the worst version in the series according to every casino employee who has come forward. This machine combines everything bad about modern slots into one package according to insider analysis. Terrible RTP, deceptive features, high volatility, and psychological manipulation that borders on unethical based on expert opinions. Former slot technicians reveal that Tiki Fire has a base game RTP around 85%, which is absolutely abysmal according to industry standards. But what makes this machine truly dangerous based on insider reports is the Firelink feature, which is the main bonus round. Here's how it works according to technical documentation. You need to land at least 6 fireball symbols to trigger the feature, which then gives you 3 respins. If you land more fireballs, your respins reset to 3. The goal is to fill the screen with fireballs that have cash values or mini jackpot symbols on them. Former technicians explain that the Firelink feature is programmed to trigger frequently enough to keep you engaged, about once every 60 to 80 spins according to the algorithm. But here's what insider analysis reveals as the scam. The vast majority of the time, you'll trigger the feature with exactly 6 fireballs, get your 3 respins, and not land any additional fireballs. The feature ends, and you win whatever small amount was on those 6 original fireballs, usually somewhere between 5 and 20 times your bet. So you just spent 60 to 80 spins at an 85% RTP to trigger a feature that barely paid you anything according to calculations. But every once in a while, maybe 1 in every 30 or 40 features based on probability data, you'll get what industry insiders call a full screen or close to it. You keep landing fireballs, and your respins keep resetting, and you end up winning a few hundred times your bet. Former employees note these big feature wins are what keep people hooked. Here's the part that made several former employees say they felt guilty, according to their statements. The Tiki Fire machine has a visual trick where during the Firelink feature, the reels will often show fireballs landing just above or just below the visible reels. You'll see them dropping in tantalizingly close, but they don't actually land on the screen. It's not a near miss in the traditional sense because the reels are all virtual and predetermined anyway, but the visual effect creates this feeling of being so close to getting more fireballs. Former technicians confirm this visual trick is programmed into the game deliberately to create frustration and motivation to keep playing according to the code. That's why former technicians and several other employees specifically mention Tiki Fire as a machine that should be avoided at all costs according to their statements. It's not just that the odds are terrible. The machine is specifically designed to exploit human psychology in ways that feel morally wrong according to analysis.